Hi guys, welcome. So today we'll talk about pollen pistil interaction and how this pollen pistil interaction helps in the process of fertilization in angiosperm plant. Okay, so what is pollen pistil interaction? So it is considered as all the events occur from deposition of pollen grain onto the stigma and entry of pollen tube into the ovule. It is referred as pollen pistil interaction. So अगर सिंपली कहा जाए तो पोलन पिस्टल इंटरेक्शन क्या है? It is a events occur from deposition of pollen grain onto the stigma up to the reaches of pollen tube into the ovule. And this interaction, it begins with pollination and it ends with the process of fertilization. Pollination does not always guaranteed that same pollen grain from the same species of plant deposited on the stigma. Most of the time, the wrong type of pollen grain also deposited on the stigma. So this is the stigma, and on this the pollen grains were deposited, but it is not guaranteed that pollen grain are compatible. Okay, so most of the time non-compatible pollen grain, non-compatible matlab the pollen grain from other species of plant, they may landed on this stigma. So the stigma, it recognize the pollen grain is compatible or it is non-compatible. And after recognition, if the pollen grain is compatible, this pollen grain germinate at the stigma and it forms a pollen tube. Okay, so pollen tube, it grows in downward direction and it reaches at ovule. Okay, so this is the ovule and this pollen, sorry, and this pollen tube, it enters into this ovule. Okay, so this is pollen grain and this is pollen tube and this is ovule. Okay, ovule, and this is outermost is the ovary. Okay, so once the compatible pollen grain means the pollen grain of same species is landed on the stigma, it gets germinated and forms a pollen tube, and then this pollen tube enters into the ovule through micropyle. So micropyle, it is the opening of ovule. So see here, this pollen tube enters into the ovule through this opening, and that opening is called as micropyle. And the growth of this pollen tube, it is guided by chemicals secreted from the synergids. Okay, so I'll show you here the structure of ovule. Suppose this is ovule and its opening, it is called as micropyle. Okay, micropyle region. So this ovule has 7 different types of cells. Okay, so these 3 cells at micropyle region, 3 cells at chalazal regions, and these cells are called antipodal cells, and there is a two secondary nucleus present in the center of ovule. So this is the larger cell of ovule. So this is one cell. Then these are three cells at micropyle region and three cells at chalazal region, which are called as antipodal cell. And the three out of these three cells, two cells they are called as synergids. They are called as synergids. Okay, and one central cell is called as egg cell. Okay, so once this pollen tube enter into the ovule, it carry two male gametes which are shown here. Okay, which carry two male gametes along with it. Okay, and one male gamete, it is fuses with this egg cell. Okay, one male gamete fuses with egg cell, and second is fused with second male gamete fused with this secondary nucleus, which is also called as polar nucleus. Okay, polar nucleus. Okay, so as this male gamete fuses with the egg, it forms a zygote, and then this zygote developed into embryo. Okay, and the second male gamete which is fused with this secondary nucleus or polar nucleus, it forms endosperm. Okay, endosperm. So this endosperm later on helps in nourishing this developing embryo inside the ovule. Okay, so this is how this pollen pistil interaction helps in formation of embryo and endosperm. As the both male gametes involved in the process of fusion, this process also called as double fertilization. Okay, why the process called as double fertilization? Because two male gametes involved in the process of fusion. One male gamete fused with egg cell and second male gamete fused with this polar nucleus. Okay, and the fusion of this second male gamete with the polar nucleus is considered as a triple fusion. Why triple fusion? Because this polar nucleus, it has two nucleus. Okay, and one nucleus, it is coming from second male gamete. Okay, so now this endosperm becomes three nuclear stage. That's why it is also called as triple fusion. So what are the significance of this double fertilization? So first is, it is a unique feature of angiosperm. No anywhere, even in animals or any other plants, such double fertilization takes place. In all the animals and other plants, if there is a sexual reproduction, only one male gamete is involved in the process of fertilization. But here there are two male gametes involved. Okay, so that's why it is a unique feature of angiosperm. Means double fertilization occur only in angiospermic plants. Angiosperm plants matlab all the flowering plants. Okay, second significance of this double fertilization is it ensures the formation of seed. अगर डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं हुआ तो एंजियोस्पर्म प्लांट के अंदर सीड बन ही नहीं सकता है, और अगर सीड नहीं बन गया तो उससे नया प्लांट डेवलप नहीं हो सकता है. सो फॉर कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ इट्स जनरेशन और प्रोजेनी, the double fertilization is essential. Okay, so this double fertilization ensures the formation of seed. Okay, so seed formation occur because of double fertilization. It also helps in development of new plant. So जैसे सीड बनेगा तो उसे न्यू प्लांट हम डेवलप कर सकते हैं. ओके, triple fusion process, it involved in formation of endosperm, and that endosperm is essential for the nourishment of developing embryo. अगर एंडोस्पर्म नहीं बन गया तो वहाँ पे न्यूट्रिएंट जनरेट नहीं होगा, और अगर न्यूट्रिएंट नहीं है किसी सीड के अंदर तो उस सीड के अंदर एम्ब्रियो सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएगा, और अगर हमने ऐसी सीड लगा दी तो उससे नया प्लांट डेवलप नहीं हो सकता. ओके, नेक्स्ट सिग्निफिकेंस इज इट रिस्टोर्स द डिप्लॉयड कंडीशन बाय फ्यूजन ऑफ हैप्लॉयड मेल गैमेट. ओके, सो जैसे प्लांट जो होता है वो डिप्लॉयड होता है, लेकिन उसके अंदर जो गैमेट्स होते हैं वो हैप्लॉयड होते हैं. सो ऐसे हैप्लॉयड गैमेट्स, हैप्लॉयड मेल गैमेट एंड हैप्लॉयड फीमेल गैमेट फ्यूज होकर फिर से नेचुरल डिप्लॉयड कंडीशन डेवलप की जाती है, एंड इट इज़ पॉसिबल ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन. And the next is it avoid polyembryony. What is mean by polyembryony? If a single ovule having more than two embryos, then it is called as polyembryony. So this double fertilization, it prevent or it avoid the polyembryony. Okay guys, so this is all about pollen pistil interaction and double fertilization and triple fusion and their significances. It is one of the important topic from your exam point of view. Okay, so most of the questions they are coming from this topic. So please like this video and share with your friends. Okay guys, thank you, bye.